Good morning, admin. Excited, Matt Duffett? You should be. It's the breakaway day. And Todd Wolfbarb, aka Todd Jason, man, the myth, the legend. Kenya, Africa, or Kenya. I've been to Kenya on a safari. Jerry and I am doing great. Great. Are you ready to play full out? First question of the day. Are you ready to play full out? Because I've got some great stuff for you. And let me know you're ready to play full on. All right. So today, talking about a few of the secret hacks. Hold on. What if you could tap into the brains of your prospects and get them to pay attention to you? How much of growing a business is about getting people to pay attention to you instead of your competition, right? Is that important? And that's a yes or yes answer, right? Let me just flip something off over here, not flip somebody off, but flip something on over here. Yeah, pretty important to set things up in a way that you can get people's attention. In today's day and age, it is so noisy out there on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Reels, Schmeals, Instagram. Everybody is trying to get attention. So I'm going to show you some marketing hacks, specifically neuromarketing hacks, which many of you knows about Pinterest, trying to get attention. So I'm going to show you some marketing hacks. All right, so we need to mute everybody. Let me know when that's Carolyn and or team, please mute everybody except for me. All right, better. Okay, thanks. So we're going to get into some neuromarketing hacks. And is $1,000 a day enough for you? Or would you want to make it $5,000 a day or $10,000 a day? Which one do you prefer? Is $1,000 a day a good start for you? 10K a day? A day? A day? That's great. That's like, $3.2 million business. More is better. What would you do with more money? Like, come on, what would you do with more money? Right? How about give some away? How about live a great lifestyle? So let's have a little bit of fun. All right. We're going to be about 90 minutes to 2 hours today. How many of you were on a week ago when I did another training? We were about 2 hours and everybody said it was outstanding. Anybody on there last week? I did some training last week. You loved it. Awesome. Who's ready to play full out? The more you put in, the more you're going to get out, right? So if you're committed to learning and then going and applying, then you're going to be able to take your business to the next level. So play full out. I'm going to cover 3 specific things today. A 3-step plan to grow your business. I don't care what business it is. Follow this 3-step plan and you will build it faster and easier than ever before. I'm going to show you some neuromarketing strategies to generate a flood of new leads, because I'm going to show you which part of the brain to activate so that people pay attention to you, trust you, like you, and then move forward with you. I imagine that's what you want. And then how do you build trust and rapport, right? So people buy from you instead of your competition. Let me ask you a question. Is trust important in today's economy, in today's world? Is trust important? Do you need to know that you can trust people? Do you need to know that you can rely on a program, product, or service? Do you need to know that if things don't work out, you don't have to worry about it? Like my wife buys from certain companies because it's hassle-free. All right, so absolutely. So we need to do that. So new statistic, 91% of all businesses will fail within the first 5 years. 91%. Imagine if 9 out of 10 doctors failed, 9 out of 10 engineers failed, 9 out of 10 teachers failed. Imagine if the statistics was so high. So here's the question. Why do you think business owners fail when in 2022, all of what they need to know and do is readily available? Right? Why do you think? Why do you think? Anybody guess? So fear? Nah, I don't think so, Barbara. Lack of skills? Yeah, for sure. All right, that's one of them. No marketing, no sales, disbelief. Yeah, so would you agree? Part of why they fail is what's happening in their own heads and inner game stuff. But the other part is because they are just not well-versed in marketing. sharing their program, product, or service with people in a way that causes them to want to buy from them, right? So mindset is an important part, no question about that, your own mindset. But the other part is they don't have the sales and marketing skills to be able to generate leads and convert them into paying customers. So let's have a little bit of fun. Do you agree we're going to have a little bit of fun? I'm going to do a lot of teaching today. Do you currently have a business? I'm going to do a poll right now. We're going to leave the poll up for 30 seconds as I talk. I want to know how many of you have a business. So Carolyn, let me know when the poll is up. We're going to do about 3 or 4, right? 3 or 4 polls to have a little bit of fun. So do you currently have a business? I know that some of you are wanting to start a business. So you're thinking of starting one. Some of you have a business. Just fill in the poll. All right, so fill in the poll. Carolyn, just so you know, I cannot see the results.
Okay, no problem. We're just at about 59% right now. So lots of people are still voting.
Great. In the chat, if you've already voted, do you agree that business is complex? That there's a lot of different facets to business? It's not easy. You know what? I always have these, hold on. I always have these on my desk. You know, it's like a Rubik's Cube, right? Building a business is like solving a Rubik's Cube. And you want to build $1 billion business, that's kind of like what it is, right? $1 billion business is like this. You know, you want to build a $500,000 business, it's like that. So yeah, so it can be very, very complex. So Carolyn, let's see the results. How many people have a business that are here?
Absolutely. So can you see it, John?
Yeah. So 58% of you have a business, 14% no, and 28 are thinking of starting a business. Awesome. Awesome. So good stat. So if you have a business, I want to see who's here because I'm going to cater what I do to you. So what is your current yearly business income? If you were to extrapolate, 12 months, all right, what would your current yearly income be? Last week we had like 5% were over $1 million, like 1% was over 5 million. But the majority of people were between 50,000 and 250,000. And we can't see who is responding, just so you know, we just see a general number. So what's your business income right now? Let me share with you something, and I want to ask you a question. Does each level of business success require a slightly different mindset and a slightly different skill set or an acceleration of skills? Of course, right? You're not going to build $1 billion business, okay, with $500,000 a year skills. You're just not going to, but you can get there if you do the right things. So Carolyn, what are the results right now on that? I've got several polls just so I know who's here.
Absolutely. So can you see that?
Yeah. So very, very similar to last week, right? So 50,000 or less, 71% of you. 50 to 100,000, 13%, 100,000. Can you all see the results of the poll? All right, can you all see the results of the poll? So I'm going to have content for each and every one of you. Now let's have a little bit of fun. Many of you know that part of the brain that we want to activate, okay, is what I call the Einstein part of the brain. The imagination center of the brain. Why? Because if you can activate the imagination center of the brain and create a vision and a goal for what you want, the deductive how-to part of your brain goes online. So what is your business income goal? Let's do a little poll for this year, for 2022.
1 second.
All right. Most of you were between in the 50,000s to 250,000, a few over $1 million, right? So what's your business income goal for this year? Where do you want to be? 5 million or more? And do me a favor, and for yourself as well, don't pick a number that's so far out there if you're starting from 0. Okay, be somewhat realistic with some dreaming involved, right? So the poll is up. All right. And if you can't see the poll, just type it into the chat. So what's your goal for 2022? And we have people from all over the world, right? Would you agree that we first set goals and then we develop the skills and the strategies to achieve them? So the goal comes first, the strategies and tactics come next. All right. So what is your goal in the chat? And Carolyn, let's wrap this one up. Show everybody the results. All right. So we have 50,000 or less, 16% of you, 50 to 100,000, 33%, 100 to 50, 24%, 250 to 500, 12%. And can you all see the results? We've got a few of you that want to hit 5 million or more. Awesome. And a few of you want to hit 1 million or more. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So here's one of my goals. My goal this year, I've been on a mission to create at least 100 new business millionaires or multi-millionaires. How? By teaching them the same thing that my mentors and teachers showed me. My mentors and coaches showed me. Anybody want to be a millionaire or a multi-millionaire that isn't one? And if you already are one, what about 5 or 10xing that, right? Why should you listen to me? I have a little bit of expertise on the mindset, a little bit of expertise on achieving goals, a lot of expertise on building companies and creating bestsellers. I've been in 11 movies. Another one's coming out this year called Coach on Netflix later on in the year. How many of you have seen one of the movies I've been in, whether it's Quest for Success with Richard Branson and Dalai Lama or The Secret or any of the movies? Hopefully you enjoyed those. But why should you listen to me about business? And here's why. I run an 8-figure a year business right now. I've built a few companies, 1 to 2.5 billion market cap. That's what the company was worth when we took it public. I also had my own real estate company with 85 offices, 1,200 agents that were doing $4.5 billion a year in sales for many, many, many years before I sold it. So a little bit of experience, but more importantly, I've been able to teach tens of thousands of business owners how to replicate the mindset and the skill set. So this is Megan. I've doubled my income, created systems and procedures in my business, and doubled my net profits by applying what you're about to learn today and maybe what you learned last week. Philip Peel, I just want to share by implementing my clients' pain on Google Ads, which I will show you today. He says the views went up 5 times and 9 times up for clicks. So if you get more people to watch, more people to click, and you have a great offer, you can make more money. Clint owns an audio visual company in Australia. Since working with you, I've already increased my revenues by $1 million. I'm on my way to 10 million in revenue. All I'll tell you is this stuff works. Yinka went from being in debt 5 figures to getting out of debt and earning 6 figures a year, on her way to 7 figures a year. She's a success coach in the UK. Dental practice, Arif Balagan, went from $50,000 a month to $110,000, $150,000 a month, $250,000 a month, and just sold his dental practice stuff. So let's talk about how, and let's first talk about why do most business owners fail?
And John, before we jump in, do you want to share your screen so we can see the slides? Or
oh yeah, you haven't been able to see my slides?
I know we're seeing your beautiful face, which is great.
Oh my goodness gracious, thank you.
You got it.
And I thought the host has disabled my participant screen sharing, so I can't. All right, so
All right.
let me show you the slides.
Hang on one second.
All right.
Go ahead and try now, John.
All right, let's try that. Here we go. Everybody, let me know if you can see my screen now.
Perfect.
My screen? Yes. So there's one of my goals. All right. And you've all said, or many of you said you want to become, millionaire or multi-millionaire. There are my books. If you haven't read Inner Size or Having It All or The Answer, get them. There's the movies or some of them. There's some of the stuff that I've been able to accomplish with the help of amazing teams. There is Megan's, or texts she sent us. There is Phillips, who went up five times views, 9 times for clicks. Clint Tregellis, over $1 million in increase in revenues. So for those of you that are at $1 million, you want to get 3, 4, 5, done that many, many, many times. Yinka, success coach that's been learning with us and applying. Arif Balagam, dental spa, which I just talked about. And then here is where we are when you said, can't see your slides. All right. Hey, Barbara, glad you took Having It All. All right. So why do most Business owners fail. In the chat, tell me agree or disagree. Lack of knowledge and skill. Lack of knowledge and skill. Don't know what to do. Don't have the skill to do it. Agree or disagree? All right, that's number one. We're going to change that starting today. Number two, below average marketing and sales. Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? All right, agree or disagree? Number three, lack of planning and systems for leverage. Lack of planning and systems for for leverage. Agree or disagree? And then this is yes or no. If you made a commitment to upgrading your knowledge and skills, upgrading your marketing and sales, and you upgraded the systems to create leverage so that you had some automation, would your business be more successful? That's a yes or yes answer. Great. So when would now be a good time to start? You like that one? When would now be a good time to start? And that's why you're here, right? Okay. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take you through this step by step. Then I'm going to break it down on the back end. Everything starts with you having a model in your head of what you need to do. Would you agree with that? I want you to start in the top left corner, all right, where it says perfect client profile. Can you see that? Take a picture of this if you like. Post it with me and you on social media. Hit hashtag myneurogym.com or hashtag John Asraf. And so would you agree that for whatever your product is, for a Rubik's Cube, for a brain, for a little clicker for slides, for a cup that, holds hot or cold stuff, a pad of paper, a pen, any product or service, there are people that need it and want it, and there's people that just don't need it and want it. Would you agree with that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Great. So number one, stop selling to everybody. Stop marketing to everybody. Stop wasting your voice, your time, your marketing, your dollars, your ads, your social media. Stop trying to sell to everybody because not everybody's your customer. Period. First rule is you have to create very, very, very specific marketing, especially if you want to activate the instinctual and limbic system in the brain, which I'll share with you why that's critical in today's day and age with thousands of messages a day. So first and foremost, stop being general and start being very highly focused. So once you create your avatar, your perfect client profile, 1, 2, 3, you can have 2, 3, 4, 5 different profiles, male, female, children, CEOs, HR directors. So number one, you create the profile and then you develop the very specific marketing, the communications, marketing, online, in print, okay, or even face-to-face is a transference of energy and information. Energy information has to be coherent in order for people's brain to understand it and reduce the resistance to paying attention and moving forward. Does that make sense? So when we apply neuromarketing, we're applying marketing in a way that's going to build trust and rapport by capturing attention. Then we're going to create the killer hooks based on what is it that people really want and need that is going to help them in their lives. Then we're going to tie that into a killer promise that we give them that they could have a reason to keep paying attention because we're going to promise them a solution or a benefit of some kind. We're going to ask them to take action, and then we're going to show them proof. Why do we want to do this process in all of our communication? Because if we don't, we're not understanding how the human brain makes decisions to pay attention and keep the attention units, which require energy, aligned with what you want to do. When people are on social media, they're scrolling through stuff. And if you know how to interrupt what they're doing and then keep their attention, you're stopping them from scrolling. If you know how to create ads for a newspaper or radio or TV or YouTube or TikTok, then you're capturing people's attention and you're taking them along a journey, right? Okay. So when you know how to do this, then you can start to decide where it is that you are going to put your marketing. Are you going to do marketing on radio or television? Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, I can't afford to do that. Well, you may not be aware that you can do some radio and television advertising for free by utilizing remnant space that isn't sold, and you can do joint venture partnerships. For some of you, your ideal client profile are looking in certain magazines. They might be a great referral from somebody else who already has that customer. You might be better off doing networking online, whether it's on Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, or on other groups online. You might choose a direct selling model, okay, where you are going to networking events, or you're speaking on people's stages, or you're mailing to people. Does that make sense? Once you have your marketing hooks and you have your promises and you have all of your communication, then and only then should you be going into the channels of where they are. Does that make sense? And then we want to choose strategies. So what are the things that we could do, okay, to get people's attention who are our ideal clients? And then what are the best sales and marketing tactics to get people to buy from you instead of your competition? Right? So do those three pieces make sense first and foremost? If you don't do things in this order, then it's really impossible to go to the sales process in the top right quadrant right up here. Because the first step that every business needs to figure out is, how am I going to generate leads, prospects, people to look at my program, product, or service? How many of you do not have the first step done really, really, really well? Let me know in the chat that you don't have a consistent flow of prospects or leads, right? So if you don't figure that out, you're on your way out of business, right? So in order to figure out how to get more leads, you have to have the right marketing so that you're effective. And you have to have the right marketing in the right channel with the right offers to be able to generate more leads. So if you don't have the system in place to generate leads with the right message in the right channel, you're screwed. And then you hope and pray and give up hope because not much works. So then, how are you qualifying people to see, are these people the right clients for me, for my program, my product or service? Do they have the need? Do they want what I have? Can they afford what I have? And are they committed to buying today or this week or next week or after? If you miss the qualification process, do you think you might waste a lot of time? You think you might waste a lot of time, right? You think you waste a lot of time? Of course. Right? So you waste a lot of time. And then how important is it to create call to actions? Do this thing next. Buy this. Here's an irresistible offer to get started. Right? And then if people buy, that's great. But if people don't buy, do you have an automated or a systematic process to nurture them over the next week, month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? Right? Do you have a process? So the reason I call this the success puzzle solved is when you apply this in an organized, methodical way, I guarantee you, you'll be able to reach 100,000, 500,000, a million, 5 to 10 million, 100 million in revenue. I work with clients of mine who pay me quite a lot of money to put these in place. And there are some that have hit $1 billion in revenue in a year. Now, of course, there's expanded versions of this, but this is the fundamental business success puzzle solved. So was that helpful to begin with? Let me know in the chat, and I'm going to help you understand the 3-step process, starting with understanding neuromarketing and neurosales communications first. Was that helpful, just to be able to see a map of what you need to check off in an organized way? All right, good. So when we understand neuromarketing and neurosales. Would you agree that we're all, I know that, right now I'm coming through on either your mobile phone or on your computer, but my sound, the sight of me that's being activated is being activated in your brain in the occipital visual cortex, right? Would you agree that everything is happening in your brain? The electrical signals of my voice are activating cells in your brain, right, that you understand. The light coming from my body through my camera is activating cells, electrical activity, and cells in your brain, creating an image of me, since your brain has a memory now of this human being on the other side of the computer there. His name is John Assaraf. So is everything happening in our brains? Of course. So that means that if I understand a little bit about how does the human brain, every brain functionally works the same. Did you hear that? Like a car, every brain functionally works the same. And when information, something that you have in a video, something that you wrote on your blog, something that you wrote on your Facebook page or Instagram page, it's penetrating somebody's senses, either hear, see, smell, taste, or touch sense, activating electrical activity in the brain. Cells get activated, right? And we either pay attention or we don't. So when we're marketing and selling, the part of the brain that you want to get really good at activating is the instinctual and emotional part of the brain. The instinctual and emotional part of the brain. So when we are looking to activate the instinctual or emotional part of the brain, first we do the who is your client profile, and then ask yourself a question. What do they really want or need help with? So what problem are they having? Like, what is it that they may be searching for as it relates to your program, product, or service? What keeps them up at night, right? What is the biggest pain or fear or frustration or irritation? What are their wants, their needs, and aspirations, right? So when we market to the instinctual part of the brain, the stuff that they really want to solve, right? And then we ask ourselves, how does my program, my product, my service meet their wants, needs, meet the pains that they have, meet the fears that they have? Now I have a way to create marketing that'll clear through the clutter and the noise, because I'm able to speak to them, communicate with them in a way to capture their attention, right? And then when we help them understand, why should they buy from you instead of your competition? Like, what are the reasons to believe that you or your company is the company to buy? Let me ask you a question. Would you agree that when we buy something or we want to buy something, let's say a solution to a problem, we're asking ourselves, what is it? Will it work for me? How long does it take? How much does it cost? What if it doesn't work for me because I'm unique? Would you agree that those are the questions that are going on in people's brains? Yes? So what is it? How much does it cost? Will it work for me? How long will it take? What if it doesn't work? Don't you think, if that's what people are thinking and feeling, that your marketing and selling should address those things? That's called handling objections and thoughts in advance. So when you are following the neuromarketing model, then you have to create an offer that's so compelling they cannot say no to it. Is your offer so compelling they have a hard time saying no, right? And then here's something to think about, especially in today's day and age. When we're selling online or offline, people are resistant to giving us their money, right? Like, what if I'm getting scammed? What if this doesn't work? What if I don't use it? So do you have a built-in risk-free way for them to feel they have no risk? If you go to Costco, right, and you don't like, if you go to Costco and you don't like, okay, a product, you can bring it back. If you buy something on Amazon, my computer is freezing for some reason. Are you guys seeing my computer freeze or everybody's computer freeze?
It's not freezing for me, John.
It's okay, great, okay. My video is freezing and so are all of you. So do you have a risk-free, pain-free way for them to feel they have no risk? Right? So it was only for a moment. Okay, it just did it again. All right, so yeah, so we're getting some people are saying that it froze, right? All right, so I'll just continue. Let me know in the chat what's going on. All right, so the key here is to understand the psychology, okay, and really market, offer in a way that people want to pay attention to you instead of your competition. Does this make sense? And all I can share with you is when you think about these things, then you can create marketing and communications that people will want to follow because you're making it easier for them, right? And since our brain doesn't like complexity, we want simplicity. Your job, my job, is to make it as easy as possible for A, to get people to pay attention to you, and B, get people to follow your path, okay? So this is part of what we want to do. All right, so here are a couple of things that you need to make a note of, right? This is the list that I just went over. And if you can connect on as many levels as possible, instinctual, emotional, and logical brain, all right, then you're going to have some great neuromarketing methodologies to be able to sell. Now, let me ask you a question. What does selling mean to you? What does selling mean to you? Let me know in the chat. Selling equals serving, right? So is selling doing something for somebody or doing something to somebody? Is selling, right? Is selling looking to help somebody solve a problem, achieve a goal, move away from a pain or a fear or something that's hurting them, right? Or is it doing something to them so you make money and you don't give a hoot about them? And somebody in the chat said convincing. No, it's not. Selling is not convincing. Get out of the convincing business. Nobody wants to be convinced. We all want to be served. Let me prove a point with you. How many of you love to buy, but you hate to be sold? How many of you love to buy, but you hate to be sold? And when somebody's trying to sell you because it's for their gain, do you and I feel it and know that's what they're doing? So we want to buy. We all want to buy. Let me ask you another question. How many of us like to invest, right? So we get a return on investment. We get a return on our energy versus just spending money that we don't see a return on, right? We all love to invest because investments suggest I'm going to make more than what I spend, right? So get out of the selling business, get out of the convincing business and get into the serving business and showing people how to invest in your program, product, or service so that they are better off. How many of you agree to do that? I'll teach you all these techniques, all right, to connect with the human brain. I just asked, use it for the betterment, okay, of people's lives. Use it so that you can live a great life too, all right? But we are here, all right, to serve, all right? So number one, okay, we just talked about right over here, right, is understanding some neuromarketing and neurosales, and you have these processes. Number two, how important is what you say? How important is what you say? Kind of, sort of, or very. So that means that if we have an avatar, right, and we can create some core marketing messages, right, then that means that we have to get really good at either what we say verbally, if we're face to face in somebody, or we have to create some great marketing copy. So if something is fear-based or pain-based, all right, does that create awareness and attention? Does that activate, somebody's instinctual brain and emotional brain? Are you tired of debilitating back pain? Right? If somebody's in back pain, isn't that a great way, okay, to connect with their instinctual and emotional brain? Has everything you've tried failed? And are you looking for a solution that will last? Right? Of course, right? What about curiosity-based? New discoveries show how to get 5 times more leads, okay, than anything ever presented. Discover how below. So curiosity, you can use curiosity marketing. What about fact-based, which you use later? What about fact-based? According to a recent study at Harvard, right, do we want to match some emotional-based, curiosity-based with facts-based? Of course. What about anticipation? Opening in a week. Skip the line by doing these 3 things, right? So we can create anticipation-based marketing. What about a promise of a better future, a gain? And let me ask you a question on this. What do we do more of? Or first, how's that? Do we prefer to avoid pain, or do we prefer to gain pleasure as a primary behavior? We will do more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure, right? Do you know why? Can anybody tell me why? Can anybody tell me why? What is the number 1 and number 2 highest priority of the human brain? What's the number 1, the number 2 highest priority of the brain? Avoidance of pain, safety, and security. Avoidance of pain and safety and security. So if you're selling a program, product, service, knowledge, skill, what a coaching, whatever it is, right? People do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure. So if your marketing could be move away from this and move towards this, right? So let me show you. How many of you would like to stop having inconsistent cash flow that's hindering your ability to live the life of your dreams? And how would you like to start making 5 or 10 times more money than you ever thought possible so that you can travel the world, give to your charities, and take care of your family, right? So move away from, move towards. Now I activated 2 parts of your brain, instinctual, emotional, and I also activated the visual cortex, right? So right on point. What about uniqueness, new? There are 2 words that the human brain loves: free and new. Free and new. Unique also happens to be something that our brain will pay attention to. So we can use unique too. We can use time-based and urgency. How many of you fear missing out on stuff at times? And you make decisions because of, there's only 3 hours left, or there's only 2 of these, or you can only get it now at this time, right? All of us fear of missing out. So urgency is important. And then what about aspirational? What about aspirational, right? So here's my question for you. When you are creating a blog, when you're creating a Facebook post, Instagram post, TikTok, video, whatever it is, are you sitting down with this list and saying, okay, here's my avatar. Here are the communication styles that I'm going to use. And here is the angle that I'm going to take. How many of you are doing this? Because if you're not, then you're hoping and praying that what you say or what you write will work. Right? And so if you want to know why you may not be getting the results you want, it's because the process that you're using is flawed. Okay, so here's some headline banks, for example. When doctors feel rotten, this is what they do, right? When doctors feel rotten, this is what they do. So if you're sick, if you're not feeling well, then we're going to use some social evidence of doctors, which are very highly regarded in our society. And then we're going to say this is what they do. So this is a curiosity based, right? What about, is dry skin making you look older than you should? Touch these 5 spots and find out, right? Whenever we're creating marketing, it's a salesperson in print, right? A salesperson in print, right? How much is worker stress costing your company? If you're the owner of a company, okay, and your people are burnt out, how much is it costing your company? All right. What about if you're in the investment world? 6 types of investors. Which group are you in? How many of you like to fill in quizzes? Right? Which is your, animal guide? Which is your, color rainbow? So when we're using a variety of different, this one is a massively successful headline that appeared many, many years ago. They laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play, they couldn't believe what they were hearing, right? Our headlines, methodologies to capture attention, and isn't that the thing that you need to do first? Isn't the first word or words that come out of your mouth determining what people do or don't do, whether they pay attention or not? Isn't what on your website the first thing that people see? You have less than 3 seconds on your website, okay, for whether people will stay or bounce, called a bounce rate. If the first 1 or 2 seconds aren't a bullseye for their biggest pains, fears, frustrations, irritations, wants, needs, aspirations, aren't they just going to leave? Aren't they just going to leave? Can you see how getting better at this is going to help you generate more leads and hopefully more sales, right? So does your child ever embarrass you? Okay, major diet plans, which ones actually work and which ones are guaranteed to torture you, cost a fortune, leave you fatter? Okay, what about the 10 habits that keep people poor and the 12 that can make you rich? If you're struggling financially, all right, and somebody says, here are the habits that can make you rich, are you not going to pay attention to it? Right? All right, what about if your pharmacist goofs, you could be dead, how to protect yourself, takes just 3 seconds. Imagine you're in your 60s and you get, a lot of medication, from the pharmacy, and you see this, right? Would you want to pay attention? And Lata, there's a difference between clickbait, okay, that makes a headline, but then takes you somewhere else that's not relevant, and a good headline that just meets them with a real, okay, solution or meets them at their pain point. Does that make sense? Right? Does that make sense? Right? If the key is to get attention, then your headlines and what you say first makes a difference in whether you get attention or not, right? So when people are scrolling on social media, you have to interrupt what they're doing. When people are looking at 20 magazines, you have to make them look at your magazine. When people are watching commercials, radio, television, print, websites, you have to get and keep their attention. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that? Yes or not? All right, so let's have a little bit of fun. All right, let's say you own a home renovation company. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's say you own a home renovation company. You would list your ideal client's biggest concern. So let me ask you a question. Let's say that you want to renovate your home. You want to renovate your home. What are the things right? What are the things that you're concerned about as a homeowner wanting to hire a home renovations company? Tell me what are some of the things, put them in the chat. Let's have a little bit of fun together. Let's do this in real time. So price, so they might come in over budget, right? What about the quality of the work? There you go, Michael, the quality, right? Insurance, service, quality, reputation, timeline. Will they do it on time? So price, quality, time, right? Efficiency, they won't follow through, finish the job, right? So if you know that this is what somebody thinks about, if they're looking to renovate their house, okay, guarantee, warranty, efficiency, so the same things. So let me share with you what we discovered, right? They always come in over budget. So how many times have you been given an estimate, you've hired the company and it comes in over budget? Is this something that a homeowner is concerned about? Yes or yes? Right? I knew what you're going to say already. How? Because the challenges that people have are universal, right? I'm afraid they won't finish on time. Did anybody say that? What about, I don't trust they'll do the job right the first time? What about, you worry that you hired the wrong company with the wrong reputation, right? What about, I'm concerned about the craftsmanship. So now we talk about quality, time, budget, right? Efficiency. Are these the exact same things you said? I don't know many of you, but are these things the things that a person who's looking to renovate is going to go through in their mind? Yes. So if you know this in advance, shouldn't your marketing address the dialogue and the concerns and the emotions that people are already feeling? So what if you did this in your marketing? At XYZ, we know how important hiring the right home renovations company is to you. That's why we do quality home renovations on time and on budget every time, guaranteed. I want you to imagine this. These are the things you're concerned about as a homeowner, and you're scrolling through social media, your newspaper, a magazine, or wherever you might be, and you saw this as a fundamental headline. How many of you would be drawn to it because it's addressing exactly what you're thinking and fearing? Right? So the marketing message would be the one on the left, and then the hook is your dream home created just for you, on time and on budget, guaranteed. How many of you would look to see more about this company if this is what you saw? Now, you cannot do this until you take the time to think about what are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they worried about? Does this make sense? This is neuromarketing at its very, very finest. Okay. And so then the call to action to schedule a free consultation, to get a brochure, to have an in-home estimate, to talk to one of our representatives, right? That's how you do good neuromarketing. So your message and marketing hook has to address your avatar's wants and concerns, right? Right? So does your marketing do that right now for your program, your product, your service? And for those of you that are looking to start a business, if you don't learn this now, you will do it wrong for many, many, many years. All right. So partially is going to give you partially good results. Fair tech. All right. So let's say it's not about pain. Let's say you're an artist. Any artists here? Any artists here? Any artists here? Hey, Jacqueline. Right? All right. So maybe it's not about the pain. It could be about, buying art for status, buying art for a certain type of lifestyle, buying art for gain or appreciation to the finer things in life. So what is your client's emotional reason for buying if you sell art or jewelry? For some reason, for some, it's like they crave beautiful things because they make me feel good about myself. There's a certain lifestyle I want. Owning fine art or jewelry shows others I have good taste. That's more around self-image, self-esteem, isn't it? Right? So aesthetics, how you feel, but in some cases, it's what other people will think of you also, right? So this is one of our, one of our clients that was creating some very, very big, bold jewelry for her clients. And she came up with a tagline, part of her communication. For those with discriminating taste and a desire for beauty, we offer timeless jewelry that others envy. Now, the people that she was selling to, okay, were going to a lot of social events. And they loved when people go, oh my God, that's so unique and different. Could people buy art or jewelry because they want to feel unique or different? Yes or yes? So if you understand, why is it that people buy, and you can have more than one type of avatar, but your marketing should be specific to each type of avatar. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, right? So you have to take the time to communicate with one-on-one, with an individual one-on-one versus one-to-many, okay? So we do a lot of how many of you have seen some of our NeuroGym ads or the John Assaraf ads? We use images to interrupt people's patterns, okay? Okay. And then we invite people. So the most powerful supercomputer in the world is between your ears. Is it secretly programmed to repulse money? Dozens of researchers agree the answer might be yes. Learn how to reprogram it in this free online event. And then we have, we invite people to our brain-a-thon, right? We did a little series around the 11 mindset myths. And then we invited people to a webinar. What do neuroscience know about your finances? That's a curiosity line. Surprisingly a lot, there's a belief pattern that will attract wealth or repel it, right? Click below to discover how to change your brain, right? So when we are using headlines, we want to meet different avatars where they're at, right? So how many of you were part of my business breakthrough challenge? Sorry, this is a little bit, right? We did a 5-day business breakthrough challenge. And how was that if you were on it, right? Right? Hey, Danielle, nice to see you, right? So we did a lot of advertising and promotions online, and we had over 2,100 business owners join us for the 5-day business breakthrough challenge. And then many of them decided to continue with our Winning Game of Business program, right? So we gave away some free ebooks. And so do you have a method to connect with your audience and lead them into a path so they can decide whether they want to work with you, right? If you do, great. If you don't, then you're missing the entire process for generating leads and qualifying. All right. All right. So, so that's that. So that's part number 2. Are we making progress, everyone? Are you learning some of the stuff that you need? Let me know in the chat. Excuse me. All right. So all of this.
John, you are muted.
Number 3, once you have your avatar, once you have your communication strategies, right? Then we have to identify the best ways to generate leads. By the way, do you like that this is just methodical and organized in a way that it's kind of, you do this first, then this, then this, then that? If you're trying to build the 5th story of your house or the 3rd story before having a right foundation, it just doesn't work. You're going to waste so much time and money, right? So then I have the avatar, I have my communications, and then how am I going to generate leads? Can you see that without knowing step 1 and 2, generating leads is very, very hard because you may be in the wrong place with the wrong message for the wrong person, right? Can you see that? Okay, good. So here's a question for you. How many of you are using, direct mail or postcards or door hangers or flyers or regular express mail? All right, because that's a way that you can reach people. You can mail to a neighborhood, you can mail to doctors, you can mail to homemakers, you can mail to different people, right? How many of you are using referrals from past customers as a way to get consistent leads? Or you have a database with followers, right? What about, having events like happy hours, trade shows, or June lunches and learns, right? You can invite people to these. What about search engine optimization and search engine marketing via domain links and content? Getting search engine results, which are organic or paid. Okay, what about pay-per-click? If you know who your avatar is and you know they're searching online, then why not just pay for the leads, whether it's 50 cents or $50 a lead? If they're qualified, then you can make a lot of money, right? Does that make sense? So there's two types of marketing, by the way. Right, there's two types of marketing, by the way. There's interruptive marketing where you're interrupting somebody's pattern. And then there's search marketing where people are looking for a solution that you may have. And Sheena says, pay-per-click is too expensive in my currency. Sheena, no, it's not. You're just not doing it right. So let's not say something's too expensive or too cheap. Let me prove a point. How many of you would spend $100 for a lead if you had a way to convert so that you'd make $120 back by the end of the week? How many of you would spend how many of you would spend $1,000 for a lead if you made $1,500 by the end of the week? Listen, here's something I want to share with you. In many cases, paying for leads is too expensive, not because the leads are expensive, it's because you don't have your process so airtight that you make money from leads. There are people that pay $10,000 for one lead, and they know that they need 10 leads to make $1 million sale. So they'll spend $100,000 to make $1 million. How many of you would spend $100,000 if you made $1 million? Oh, so now it's not a matter of how much the lead costs. It has to be how many leads do I need to make 1 sale or 10 sales or 100 sales, right? Now it's a function of optimization of leads, not just leads. Remember, lead generation, lead qualification, then lead conversion, right? Right? So what about email, newsletters, or blogs? These are traditional lead sources. What about cold calling? What about buying leads in a list from reputable sources? What about podcasts? Doing a podcast to get a following to then offer people your programs, products, or services? What about creating infographics or white papers or PDFs or video series that people can engage with you? Right? There's more than enough leads. Would you agree? Sources for leads? So if you don't do these things, then you have a strategy problem, not a problem with there aren't things to do. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that? So now it's a skill set issue, right? If you want, to create lead magnets, to get people into your orbit, whether it's online, you can create tutorials, reports, ebooks, PDFs, offer people transcripts, free consultations, assessments, case studies. There's so many things that you can do to build trust and rapport and to create an awareness around your brand, your products, your services. Okay? So then marketing and sales tactics, right? There's hundreds of different marketing and sales tactics. Now listen, your job is to figure out which 2 or 3 work for me. It's not to do 100 of them. It's to do the 2 or 3 that are really, really good for you. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? right? And if you don't know, or this overwhelms you, what can I say? If you don't know what to do, or this overwhelms you, you're going to be frozen in fear, right? You're going to be frozen, okay, in inaction. You're going to be fearful, afraid of doing the wrong thing. So it takes some time to get better at this. So let's have a little bit of fun. Let's see where you're at. There's no poll for this, but I'm going to do about 5 or 6 questions here. In the chat, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you know your perfect client profile or avatar? And all of you that were in the Business Breakthrough Challenge, all right, you should have this wired by now, right? Or if you're in my Winning Game of Business program, our coaching program, right? All right, so for some of you, you've got your avatar or avatars at a 10, and some are a 4, 5, or 6, or 7, and that's great. So now we have a little bit of work for you, all right, if you don't have an avatar. What about on a scale of 1 to 10, you have your neuromarketing and neurosales messaging and language patterns figured out? All right, you've created them. Where are you with that? You're activating the instinctual and emotional part of the brain, and then you're walking them through a logical process afterwards. Great. So here's where your work comes in, right? You've got to get this done. If you want to do it right, you can keep doing it the same way. All right, but you can also do it right. What about you really know for the avatar your core marketing and sales message, and you develop your unique business solution and your unique strategic positioning? All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know your marketing sales messaging, and then you've developed your unique business solution for that and your unique selling proposition. All right, and for some of you are wondering what in the world is that? This is a little bit more of an advanced strategy, but do you have a unique business solution or a unique business system to help people with their pains, fears, frustrations, expectations, wants, needs, or aspirations? Okay. What about creating irresistible offers? Have you sat down to think about how do I really create such a compelling offer, that people have to buy my program, my product, my service, my solution instead of my competition? Right? Because why do we want irresistible offers? Well, because if we don't create irresistible offers, then people go look for irresistible offers somewhere else. How many of you love irresistible offers? Let me know yes or no. Do you love irresistible offers? Yes or no? So what has to what does an irresistible offer have to have? Does an irresistible offer have to have immense value that exceeds the investment? Quality? Yeah. Does an irresistible offer have to have like a risk reversal? If this doesn't meet or exceed your expectations, you can have your money back? Right? Does an irresistible offer have to explain everything people receive and eliminate any ambiguity? So value and promise, eliminate risk, yeah. Right? So yeah, ask yourself, what has to happen in order for me to create an irresistible offer? Then go create it. All right, then on a scale of 1 to 10. Thank you, Anna. Right, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know the sales and marketing channels that work best for your business, your product, your service. How many of you know the exact channels where your ideal client profiles are? If you don't, you're marketing in the wrong place some of the time, or in many cases, most of the time. So the question you need to be asking yourself is, where is my avatar, my ideal client profile who wants and needs what where are they looking? Why don't I meet them there? Right? Why don't I meet them there? Right? And then here's something that most people do not do. Are you accurately measuring your marketing and sales strategies? Are you measuring this is working, this is not? Yes or no, or you can say on a scale of 1 to 10. Right? So without measuring, how are you going to get better? How are you going to know what to do more of, what to do less of? Right? So this is, the thinking that you need to have as a business owner. Right? Is this valuable so far? Is this valuable for you? Are you getting an understanding of maybe why you're stuck at under 50,000 and you're not at 100? Or maybe, you feel uncertain in starting your business because you don't know what in the world to do. Or maybe you're at 100, but you don't know how to get to 500 or 500 to a million or a million to 5 or 5 to 10. The answers are in here. And then here is something that very, very few business owners have. And listen, I get paid $100,000, to work with a business for one day, and 9.9 out of 10 do not have an end-to-end sales and marketing process. An end-to-end. Here's how we market. Here's how we qualify. Here's how we convert. Here's how we nurture. An end-to-end sales process. Now, if you don't have a process, is it easy or hard to grow? If you don't have a predictable process that you can adjust, is it easy or hard to grow? Almost impossible. Almost impossible if you don't have a system and a process. Last week, I asked everybody, why do people pay $25 or $50 or $500,000 for a franchise? Why? Because they're paying for a predictable process, right? How much is a predictable system or a process worth? Is it worth spending $50,000 for a process that's predictable, where you make 100,000 or 200 or 500,000? Like, that's why people borrow money, right, to predict the success, because they're following processes and systems, right? It's potentially priceless, Chris. That's exactly right. Because if you have a process that's predictable, right, you can, like, how much do private equity companies invest in businesses, okay, that have predictability? Think Warren Buffett. Do you know what he buys? He buys companies that create predictable cash. And he spends billions on them because they have learned how to scale through processes and systems, otherwise known as leverage. So let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's not on here, right? Are you ready to optimize and scale your business 6 or 7 figures a year? Right? Like, are you fully ready to optimize and scale your business 6 or 7 figures a year? Right? Because it's there, it's possible, but you just may not know how. Would you agree? It's possible, you just may not know how. And so there may be an issue with knowledge. There may be an issue with skill, and there's probably an issue with the wrong strategies. Would you agree? So what's the cost of not fixing that? Like, what's the cost of not fixing, okay, the problem? The problem could be your mindset. I get that. The problem could be your skill set. I get that. The problem could also be your actions, what you're doing or not doing. What's the cost of ignorance, my friends? What's the cost of ignorance? How much is ignorance costing you, just not knowing? How much would you think your ignorance is costing you right now? Every day I work on bridging the gap, okay, between what I don't know and what I do. Every day I want to get better and better and better. So let's do a little question here. Here's a poll number 4. How big is the gap? All right, there's always a gap between where you are and where you want to be. So what I want you to do is imagine how much revenue you could earn a year if your mindset, your skill set, and your actions were aligned. What is your particular gap, right? How big is your gap? Right, so about 20% of you are 10 to 50,000, 12% are 50,000, 20% are over 100,000. That's your yearly potential. 23% of you, the gap is $1 million or more. If there was a franchise available for $25,000 to help you fill the gap, how many of you would buy that franchise? How many of you would buy the franchise? If there's a franchise available for 25 grand, how many of you would buy the franchise? Right? You're a business owner or you want to start a business. There's a gap, right? Wouldn't you spend $25,000 or $50,000 to bridge the gap? If you can make an extra $50,000 or $100,000 for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, wouldn't it make sense to buy a franchise and fill the gap, just paint by number? Right? Billy, no, you wouldn't? Okay, well, then stay stuck, right? So Stay stuck. If you wouldn't invest 25 or 50,000, make an extra 50 or $100,000 for years and years and years, I do not understand the logic behind that personally. Maybe somebody else does, maybe you do, but I don't understand that. So if it was guaranteed, so if you buy a Mercedes-Benz Lota and you drive it into a ditch, should Mercedes-Benz guarantee that you don't drive it into a ditch? Is the problem with the driver or the car? Let's get real here, all right? If you want it guaranteed, that's like saying, you know, do it for me and I'll pay you for the results. You're gonna pay a lot more for guarantees. So the key is to equip yourself so that you can rely on yourself, right? There you go, Jim. I am the problem if you drive a Mercedes-Benz 600 into a ditch, right? Okay, so let's share the results here. But there's a lot of you that are missing or losing out on $10,000 to $50,000 a year. There's a lot of you, about 33% of you are between $50,000 and $100,000 a year. There's another 25% of you that are missing out on $250,000 to $500,000 a year. How would that change for all of you? How would that change bridging the gap? Okay, your lifestyle. What would it do for your retirement plan? Right? If you bridge the gap, who else would benefit? Who else would benefit? Who else would benefit other than you? Your family, how would they benefit? How would your family benefit if you bridge the gap? How would you benefit? What would that do to your self-image, self-worth, self-trust? Right? What would it do to your lifestyle or for your lifestyle? Are any of you into charity, making more but giving more also? Would that make you feel good? Right? Freedom. Somebody said freedom. Anthony, freedom for what? How many of you want more freedom, whether it's time freedom, choice freedom, right? Anybody else want more time or choice freedom? Does anybody want to bridge the gap because that's what will give you more peace of mind? Don't we all want more peace of mind, right? So freedom, choice freedom, time freedom. We want to do what we want to do with who we want to do it. What about because you're going to get to serve more people? Anybody into being a giver? Right? Yeah. So the reason to bridge the gap is for way more than the money, right? Isn't the money just a tool? Isn't money just telling you how well you're playing the game? Right? So we don't want money for money. We want money, right, for what it will cause us to feel like, right? So let's do a little gap worksheet just so you know, right? Your current monthly income, write down a piece of paper. Your potential monthly income, the difference times 12 is going to be how much you're focusing on for the year. So it looks like this. Let's say your current monthly income is 2,500 or 25,000, and your potential monthly income is 3,500. The difference is $12,000, right? That means when you bridge that gap, okay, of 12,000 or 120,000 or $1.2 million, the valuation of your company goes up, right? And then your self-image, self-trust, self-confidence goes up. So who's got a gap that they want to share in the chat? All right. Who wants to share the gap in the chat? Where you are, what the gap is, right? And I think we already, when we asked the question, right, of how much is the gap, right? So let me ask you all a question. How many of you think that hope and prayer is the best strategy to bridge the gap? I'm not saying that you shouldn't use hope and prayer, but how many of you think that hope and prayer, I hope it gets better, I pray it gets better, is the best strategy? No, who said no magic thinking? Right? So let's say we have hope and prayer, which I'm okay with. What else should we do as either wannabe business owners or business owners, all right, to bridge the gap? So I'm seeing people saying, just do it. Action. What just do? What action? Like what kind of action? Could you be taking the wrong action and be very, very busy? It's not action. It's not even purposeful action. Let me ask you a question. I want you to imagine that there's a safe in front of you right now. There's a safe. Inside the safe, there's $1 million. How many of you want the $1 million? Anybody want the $1 million? It's in the safe. It's right in front of you right now. You can unlock it, take the money out, do whatever you want with the money. Okay. How many of you think the best strategy, okay, is to sit in front of the safe for countless days, weeks, and months and years and try to figure out what the combination is? And you're going to be busy for 20 hours a day doing it. How many think that's the best strategy? Be busy trying to figure out the safe. Anybody think that's a really great strategy? Work really hard for the next 5 months to try and open up the safe. So you can hire skilled personnel. I like that idea. How many of you think a smarter path would be to find out what's the combination and in what order you need to put the numbers in, and turn to number 7, turn around twice to number 14, turn around twice to number 28, and then stop at 1, click, open. How many think that's the best solution? So the first way is just sit there and try and figure out the number and spend months or years doing it. You'll be working hard, but would you be making any progress? No. The second way is you get the combination and you just follow the combination and it opens up faster and easier than ever before, right? So here's my question for you. Do you have the step-by-step plan that maps out how you're going to bridge the gap? Because if you don't, guess what you're doing? You're sitting there in front of the safe trying to figure it out. Turn left, turn right, turn 3 times this way, turn 2 times that way. So in the absence of a step-by-step plan, what do you think your chances of success are going to be? Put in the chat on a scale of 1 to 100. 100 means I'll hit it no matter what. 1 means not so good. So Carolina, you think without a step-by-step plan, you are going to achieve your goals 90% of the time. I'll bet $1 million you are wrong. I'll bet $1 million you are wrong without creating a plan. So here's the question. Do you currently have a plan? So we have 18 or 20% of you have a plan and 82% of you do not have a plan. Now, I don't mean to be combative, but I know that people that follow processes and systems achieve success 100 times faster than the people who don't. So 20 of you or 20% of you have a plan. And let me see, or 22% you have a plan to bridge the gap, and 78% of you or so do not. All right, so good. So I'm going to suggest, get yourself into a plan, right? And can you all see the results? 77% no, 23% yes. Way to go, Amy. Hi there, Aaron Moon. All right, so yeah, so here's my question for you, or a comment I'm going to make. And I showed this last week, and people loved this. And so, would you agree that today, with all the talks of stagflation, right? Have you heard of stagflation? Recession plus inflation. Recession plus inflation. They're calling that stagflation, right? Is there a possibility that things could get much worse in the economy, in the world, and in your business, right? Possibilities there. In today's economy, what's going on in the world, stock market, recession, war, whatever the case is, inflation, you could work hard and survive, right? And how many of you would like to just be surviving or to go down the path of much worse? Anybody? I don't think anybody wants that deliberately, right? And I see Aaron says thriving is better. Do you think that by focusing, planning, and taking the right actions, there's a possibility and a way to thrive over the next 6 to 18 months? You think that the people who don't know what they're doing may survive, but may get worse, and the people who do know what they're doing can adapt, plan, adjust, and thrive? Yeah. Now, is this a choice? Is this a choice? Doesn't everything start with a choice and a decision? that is what I am going to do. Which choice are you making? Surviving or thriving? Which one? Which choice are you making? Next 6 to 18 months, which choice are you making? Survive and thrive. And in order for you, if you're thriving, all right, then what do you have to do, right? Many of you know the story of my first mentor. He asked me, John, are you interested or are you committed to achieving your business and financial goals? And when I asked him what the difference was, he said, if you're interested, you do, it's easy and convenient. If you're interested, you come up with stories, reasons, excuses, why now is not the right time, why now you can't afford it, why now you can't change, why, I can't. Now, if you're committed, what does that mean? Everyone, if you're committed, what does commitment mean? Tell me in the chat. Commitment means I am what? No excuses. What does a person who's committed say when their brain says, but I don't have the money? What do they say? Right? I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'll find the money. I'll figure it out. What does a person say, okay, when they're committed and they say, but I'm really busy right now. I don't have the time. What do they say to themselves? Because there are people who say they're committed, but then they allow their reasons and excuses to hold them back, which means they're really not committed. And then there are people that are committed and follow through. What is that razor's edge that causes people to say, I'm committed and not take action, and be committed and take action? What is that difference? Do they feel fear and then they do it anyway? Do they become resourceful when maybe they don't have the resources? Do they change what they're doing in time so that they get rid of some things that may be the low impact things or low income things, and then they focus on the high impact, high income things, right? Do they follow through to completion on their commitments no matter what? See, success and excuses do not live on the same street, as my friend Lisa Nichols will say. You can either have excuses or you can have success, but not at the same time, right? So it is doing what you commit to doing. So my question for you is, are you committed to becoming the CEO you are meant to be and bridging the gap between the business potential you have and your current results? Are you committed? Because if you're not committed, I cannot help you. In fact, nobody can, right? Right? So Tony, all of us make mistakes. Big deal. We fail forward, right? So how many of you are committed to becoming the CEO you're meant to be? I don't see a lot of commitments now. Now, all of a sudden, right? Some of you are like not committed anymore. And that's okay. I can't choose for you whether you're committed or not. I can help you if you are, but I can't if you're not, right? You're committed with every breath of your being. Can you feel what being committed feels like? Have you ever committed 100% to anything? Now, listen, if you're a mom, trust me, giving birth, that's commitment, right? So that's all in, right? That's all in. But have you ever committed, like, I will succeed no matter what? No matter what fear I have, no matter what uncertainties I have, no matter what doubt I have, no matter how much skill I need to learn. Like, with that attitude and that resolve, isn't that what it's going to take to build your business? You want freedom? You have to pay the price for freedom. You want peace of mind? The peace of mind you create will be the peace of mind you have. You want choice freedom? You have to earn it. Now, you have the freedom of choice, of course, but choice to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with whom you want to do it, anywhere in the world, that takes a little bit more of a commitment, right? So listen, I've shared with you a whole bunch of stuff, and as you can imagine, in 75 or 80 minutes, I've shared with you a lot. I want to introduce you to something that I've built for 41 years from my own personal experience, but also in helping literally over 15,000 business owners. And some of you that are here right now, you've already invested in the Winning Game of Business brain training and coaching program, right? And if you want a business acceleration system to bridge that gap this year faster and easier than ever before, is it okay if I share with you how you can say yes to yourself and bridge that gap faster and easier right now? Let me share with you what's in this entire system. All right. I've created a video training program, all right, with workbooks, checklists, and examples for you to be able to start building your business the right way, like you were building with an architect, where you start off with creating your vision, your goals, and your why. But then I will show you exactly how to develop your avatar, your marketing, your messaging, your unique business system, your compelling offer, your end-to-end process, choosing the right systems for yourself, creating and measuring your marketing, knowing the numbers you need to know so you can optimize and scale. I recently did a 3-day live training that I recorded and broke down into components, small bite-sized components that my clients watch, they do the work, and then they move on to the next module. So, Anna, I'm so glad that you became one of our coaching students, all right? And so if you want a step-by-step process where you will watch the videos, do the workbooks, and move along a predictable system and process, then I'm going to help you set up the right foundation. We'll help you implement exactly what you need to do marketing right so you get more leads and make more sales and revenues, which will get you to the lifestyle that you want. And I'll help you create a predictable end-to-end sales process all through videos. And you'll see in just a moment, there is some coaching for some people on here as well. So we'll help you get the foundation, the implementation, all right? And then we'll help you optimize exactly what you do. So you're working off of a plan, all right? I'll show you exactly how to develop the success rituals every day, every week, every month. So you are a highly productive CEO versus a very, very busy CEO, all right? If you want to grow a 6 or 7 or 8-figure business, this is your path to get there. Now, the value of just the training to create like a franchise step-by-step model is $5,000. Now, remember earlier I said that you also have to have the right mindset? How many of you have been using any of my brain training programs to upgrade your self-image, self-worth, self-esteem, and self-confidence, to master focus and clarity, and to break disempowering habits? How powerful are they? Because I created a winning the game of business 9-level brain training system that I am going to include in this package. And all you need to do is listen to the audios and I will help retrain, rescript your subconscious mind. The value of that's $997. And all you need to do is listen to the exercises. Each day you listen to, 1 level for a week, level 2 for a week, level 3 for a week, and it'll start to reprogram your self-image, your self-worth, your self-confidence from the inside out. There's an inner size process. How many of you want to automate your business? Right? Awesome, Lisa. How many of you want to automate your business? Would you like to automate your marketing, automate your sales? How would you like to learn how to create one-time offers to double your revenue, or lead magnets like we create to generate 10, 20, 30, 50,000 leads? And then how many of you need to get better at selling and marketing? Because I had some of my top team members create a 6-part sales system that can help you make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. All you need to do is watch the videos, fill in the forms, and apply it. I'm going to give that as a bonus for the first 50 people who sign up right now. Also, some of you know this, I invest over $500,000 a month, okay, $125,000, $150,000 a week on social media. How would you like to learn how we create our social media ads the right way, how we do our media buying, how we set things up so that you don't need to make the hundreds of thousands of dollars of mistakes we have made? All right. How would you like to get this entire system from us, I'm going to include that for you. The Winning Game of Business program, all right, and this is the do-it-yourself model. I'm going to share with you in just a moment if you want some of the coaching that we have as well, right? So the total value for this entire package is $10,000. And if you invested $10,000 and I gave you the system to bridge the gap, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it? If I could guarantee that you'll bridge the gap, would it be worth it? All right. Here's what I'm going to do. If it was $69.97 and you bridge the gap and you made that extra 10 or 20 or 50 or $100,000 in a month, would it be worth it? Of course. What if it was $5,000 for a business success accelerator blueprint, videos, audios, workbooks, manuals, and examples? It'll be worth it. This is the final time you're going to see this, because we are closing the doors on this campaign that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. For the first 50 people that sign up right now, not only am I going to give you a $7,500 scholarship off of the program to make it $2,497. All right, you can either pay in one payment or 4 payments of $697. But I'm also going to give you the Hill method of selling. And any of you that want to get better at selling, how much could you earn more if you knew how to sell better without being salesy? Well, I have helped tens of thousands of people learn how to sell without being salesy. I'm going to give you this video training program worth $1,000, making the total value of this package just under $11,000 for $2,497. All you need to do is make a few sales to pay for this. It's less than, a cup of coffee or two a day. All right, maybe a lunch here and there. So if you want the do-it-yourself model, this is our least expensive way to get all the content that you need. Now, I'm not going to leave you there. So this is one option. Get the program right now, start using it, make money from it in the next 30 days. And if it's not worth 10 times what you invested, I'll give you a 30-day, 100% risk-free money back guarantee. I'll take all the risk, you get all the benefit, watch the videos, learn, apply, make money. All right. If you go to the checkout right now, you can take one of these options. There's also a PayPal option for US residents only that you can apply, and they can approve you for credit and you pay nothing for 6 months. Okay. Ruth, this is for anybody who is serious about starting a business from scratch all the way through to 10 million. All right. Now, I just got this, okay, from Kaz Iso. All right. He is somebody that's in the program, and COVID hit. Well, he started following what was in this program. I was in the middle of my biggest launch and sales opportunity of the year. With the help of your process, we started doing online seminar. He was doing live events, right? And the results have been great. With your program coach, I went from $500,000 a year to over 5 million, 10x what he was doing before. And this is only the beginning. Thank you for helping us pivot and adapt. Kaz Iso. Aaron McGarity, jeweler. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Last month, I gave myself a fun goal of doubling my monthly business, which on a good month was 55,000. Well, we did it, 110,000 in sales. Ruben, welder, okay, has a welding company. Okay, sales were $103,000. I'm sorry, we had 2 months in a row where our sales were $103,000, and this month was $105,000 for revenue. They did over $1 million in revenue from 400. Tracy Carr, managing director of Evolution. I've signed up an additional $720,000 in business. I can show you people who just started out that have made their first 2,000. I'll show you some of those later. Their first 10,000, 20,000, and people that have a business that were making 10,000, 20,000 or doubling, tripling their income. Now, let me show you the VIP version of this, which is going to blow your mind. All right. Everything that I've just shared with you is in the VIP version. All right. So this is everything that was in the VIP, in the version that I just showed you. All right. So what else am I going to include? Number one is the Winning the Game of Business coaching program includes, for those of you that want the coaching, I've created an entire ecosystem of some amazing entrepreneurs that are on our faculty. All right. And in the last 12 months, I've had some brilliant people talk about personal branding, about hiring, about automating your business, about creating sales processes, about marketing. And we have video recorded every one of their trainings, and we put them into a special area in our members area that you're going to get access to an entire series of experts that you may need if you're hiring or if you're scaling or you want to automate. I'm going to include the training that we've done with the experts over the last year. Plus, when you take a look at what's in here, all right, if you want to develop your personal brand like a pro, Mark Lack, all right, was one of my private clients that was a student, okay, and a paintball player. He's generating over $1 million a month now. And then he created a program that's worth a few $1,000s that's in this program. He gave it to us to help you as one of my new clients. If you need to learn how to write copy, if you need to create a webinar, if you need to be better on camera, all of these trainings, video-based with checklists and workbooks, are in this program, the VIP version. I'm including that for anybody who buys today. And then I put together a team of world-renowned experts on all of the different platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, so that if you want to use any of those channels, you will learn how to do it right versus doing it wrong. So not only are you going to learn from me, not only, okay, will you have access to these video trainings, all right, I'm going to be available for 6 months of training and coaching with you. How many of you are in the program right now? And how many of you are already enjoying the quality of the coaching? We do hot seats, we do Q&As, we do additional training. We're doing a training on websites that's coming up in about 10 days. On Friday this week, we're doing a session with Mike Koenigs on how to build a seven-figure a year business using marketing. So when I share with you that not only do you get the videos, all right, not only do you get the social media, but you're going to get one-on-many coaching, me to the group. Every single month, we are doing trainings, 2 or 3 trainings a month to answer your question. So the value of the training alone, the coaching, is $9,000. I have assembled a team of experts that teach every single month on a different topic. All right. So if you want to learn sales and marketing and funnels, you want to upgrade your knowledge and skills to create a predictable, okay, revenue stream. These are the people that I am wrapping around you so that you not only know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. We'll show you the tools and the resources to use. We'll answer your questions so that you don't have to do this alone anymore. All right. So this entire VIP program, all right, when you take a look at everything that we have involved and engaged for you, right, is over $32,000. Now, remember I said that if you pay $25 or $50 or $100,000 for a franchise, but you got the system, you can make $25, $50, $100, $200, $500,000 every year. You don't have to invest that. We're going to take off 92% for people who buy today. Your investment, not cost, investment is $3,497. I want to ask you a question. When you learn how to be the CEO you're capable of being, how many tens or hundreds of $1,000s or millions of dollars do you think that'll allow you to do? Right? How do you think that will make you feel? Right? So your investment's $3,497, which includes 6 months of coaching. You can make one payment of $3,497 or 6 payments of $697. If you want to add an additional 6 months, making a full 12 months, it's $1,497 additional. You can do that after you check out. And so you get a full year for less than $5,000 of coaching. Now, here's something that you don't see very often. And that is this. Invest in yourself today for the VIP at $34.97. If you don't make in the next 12 months at least double that amount of money, so you invest $34.97. If you don't make at least double that, or almost $7,000, I will give you all of your money back. But there is a catch. Here's the catch. You have to attend the trainings. You have to check the boxes, okay, for each of the modules that we want you to go through to apply. All right. And if you do the work, I guarantee your results. So somebody asked me for a guarantee. I'll guarantee the results if you guarantee you'll do the work. Is that a fair exchange? Is that a fair exchange? How often have you seen a 200% money back guarantee? Right? Maybe on $10, but not on $3,500. Right? Not often. Why do you think I do that? Do you think I may have your business growth franchise ready for you to apply right now, but not at $25,000, not at $50,000 or $100,000? It's $3,497. Now, here's my question for you. Are you going to say yes to yourself? Right? Are you going to say yes to yourself, and are you going to stay committed to yourself? Or are you not going to believe in yourself? You're not going to believe you're worth it. It's not the right time. You don't have the money. You're afraid. Which one? Are you going to say yes to yourself and to your business? Like, are you committed to peace of mind? Are you committed to making a difference? Are you committed to your family? Are you committed to having the business of your dreams? Are you committed to being successful? Are you committed to upgrading your skills so you do it right instead of doing it hard? Right? So here is your opportunity, okay, to level up your skills. Here's your opportunity to get the coaching, okay, that you want, so that you don't do it alone. All right. So that you don't do it alone. Right. And remember, I shared with you earlier, there are people that are starting out. This is Brett Robb. I just booked my second $2,000 client using John's Hill method of selling from this program. Massive gratitude. So he made $4,000 in less than 60 days. All right. Mike Goodrich, he teaches people how to use their voice. He's a vocal coach. Was making like $150 an hour. Just signed and got paid in advance. My first client of $500 an hour. You want a little bit greater success? Guy Sohi, COO of a small medical company, took what I share with him, the processes, the franchise-like processes, help grow his annual revenues from 5 to 17 million. Oh, are you in sales? This is Asif Khan. I'm so excited. My numbers are, and I hit $167,000 in income. And it looks like next month will be 176. That was March and April. All right. Listen, the VIP Elite gives you the entire program, all the bonuses, the coaching for 6 months or 12 months. The investment for you to bridge the gap is $3,497. And I want to ask you a question, right? You've got two options, right? And that is invest in yourself, say yes to yourself, and bridge the gap. What's the cost of not taking action today? Like, what's the cost of not taking action? How much has your business grown from 6 months ago or 3 months ago? How much has it grown? What makes you think that your growth is going to be different in the next 3 or 6 months? Has it grown exponentially or incrementally? Do our decisions have consequences, the ones we take and the ones we don't take? Does behavior, what we do and what we don't do, have consequences? Of course it does, right? So if you want to accelerate what you're doing, right? If you want to accelerate what you're doing, you want to do it faster and easier, then this is a great investment for you. I'm giving you a 2% money back guarantee on the VIP program. And yes, you must do the work and attend the training so that, we know that you're learning and growing and applying and you're asking questions, right? And I'm including, okay, the brain training audios in either one of the programs. You get the brain training audios, all right? And so you either can, have the do-it-yourself model, which is $2,497, or 4 payments is $697. And there's a 100-day or 100% money back guarantee. And this is going to help you become the CEO you're meant to become. Or you take the VIP version, whichever one you want. And here's what I'd like you to consider for just a moment. If you are committed to becoming a millionaire or a multimillionaire, the decisions you make today either move you towards that or move you away from that. If you can, for just a moment, imagine whatever obstacle is in your way right now. Imagine that you can get the help to become aware of it and move it out of the way. And then you can move yourself on the path, all right, to achieving every single goal you have in an organized, methodical way, step by step. Start where you are, make progress. Then we make more progress and make progress. If you get stuck, show up to our trainings, our Q&A sessions, our hot seats, ask questions. Be in our community, in our environment, and not only will you be able to help others, but others will be able to help you. So the reason I'm able to offer this coaching program at such a phenomenal price is because we have other members that are working with each other, learning at the same time. And we have experts that help as well. So the ecosystem to make sure that your mindset is right, your skill set is right, and your action set is right with a checklist of every check of what you need to do is paint by number. And you can go as fast or as slow as you want. But the key is there's a system and a process to follow, to let go of limiting beliefs, to let go of fears, to let go of your self-image, which may not feel like you're worthy of the goals you want to achieve. But also, as you upgrade your mindset, your subconscious conditioning, and you upgrade your skill set, guess what happens? You have more self-confidence, you have more certainty, you have more personal power, and you have more motive to take action instead of reasons not to. And when you learn how to stop your disempowering habits and you start your constructive, empowering habits, that's what's going to help you move forward versus being stuck or being in a retroactive pattern. So I've taken care of the mindset piece, the skill set piece, and the action set piece, and create an entire environment around you to lift you up so that you can move towards your goals and dreams. Now, the reason I said that, people who are committed achieve their success and people who are not don't is because it's going to take some effort. I get it, but it's not effort on your own. And by the way, somebody mentioned something in the chat, and that is that you have lifetime access to all of the training. Okay, so once you invest in it, thank you, David. Once you invest in it, you own it for life. I have people that are still using our training that invested in it 3, 4, 5 years ago, which wasn't anywhere nearly as robust a system as we have here. So let me ask you a question, all right? And the question really is around, if you haven't invested in yourself and you haven't made a commitment to, what's really holding you back? I think it's really important for us to ask, what's really holding you back? I'm giving you an entire franchise type system that's predictable and proven by tens of thousands of people. I've given you the money back guarantees. I've given you the support that you need. What's really holding you back? For those of you that, are on the fence, right? Or maybe not even on the fence, you just don't either think this is right. If this is not right for you for valid reasons, okay, no problem. But if you want to do this, but you're not, what's really holding you back? What's really holding you back? And what's really going to hold you back is you're going to say, I don't have the money. And my question for you would be this: if you had an abscessed tooth, would you find money to go see the dentist? Would you invest in removing the ache, the pain, so that you are free of pain? If you don't have the time, when are you ever going to have the time? It's never the right time. And this isn't about not having the time. It's about using the time you have so that you have more time. There's no such thing as time management. There's only event management, what you do in time. So for people that are committed, there's always a way. For people who are not, there's always an excuse. And I want you to call yourself out on your own self-talk, the stuff that may be holding you back here or here. If you're afraid, I get that. You're afraid of disappointing yourself, maybe afraid of disappointing somebody else, afraid of investing in a program when you've invested in others and they don't work. But that's also, right, why I give you the money back guarantee, because I'm not afraid to take the risk because I know what you'll have, right? And so whenever we have a fear, right, either the fear controls us or we learn to manage the fear so it never holds us hostage. All right. So for those of you that are, committed to growing your business, I know I can help you. We've got an entire team dedicated to help you, right? And this is something that's really going to be important in your life. And this could be your Independence Day, independence of what the market conditions are, independence from recessions, independence from your own mindset that may be holding you hostage, independence from lacking knowledge and skills, independence from doing what you're doing and being active versus productive. So listen, this is an opportunity for you. I've included a whole bunch of bonuses that are for the people who take action right now. And I've been training a variety of different angles on business for about 3 weeks now. And we opened up the doors for our Winning Game of Business Brain Training Coaching Program only several times a year. And then this door is closing now as well. So if you really want to get, into, doing it right, as I mentioned, we're doing a couple of trainings in the next, 10 days. The one on the websites on making sure that you've got the right website with the right structure, that alone, which I'll be doing, will be worth more than the price of the entire investment, because most of your websites, people are coming and leaving in seconds. So if you want to be part of this, I invite you. My team could put on the link. So I see that there may be an issue with the link. So my team, if you can make sure we have the right link, that would be great. And then does anybody have any questions on the program? I can stick around for a few more minutes. If you'd like, I can answer a few questions. All right. So let's do this.
Yeah. John, I can send you over the doc. We have a few questions.
Okay, great. Let me pull over the document. By the way, have you learned something today? Right? Have you learned something today? Right? Have you learned something today? Right? Success leaves clues. All right, let me open up the document. And I want to welcome all the new NeuroGym members. I want to challenge those of you who want to do this, but you're coming up with stories to check and balance your stories. Is that a real excuse or not? And then I want you to ask them, how can I versus why I can't? How can I versus why I can't? How I will because I must. So somebody's asking, when does the coaching program start? Tomorrow, which is Thursday, we're doing a kickoff call to get everybody who invests in themselves today and say yes to yourself today. We're kicking you off with getting you into the program. All right. And so the celebration kickoff call is tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And so we're going to celebrate you and show you what to do and how to get the most out of this program. And somebody asked, do I get instant access to the program? Yeah, we give you access to all of the program with all the bonuses with a document of where to start and what to do. So yes, somebody asked, I didn't understand the money back guarantee. So if you buy the do-it-yourself model for $24.97, there's a 100% money back guarantee. You have 30 days to go through the program, apply it, make more than the money that you invested. And if you invest in the program plus the 6 months of coaching for $34.97, then there's a 200% money back guarantee. And what that means is this: get into the program. You have a year to make twice as much money at least I mean, I think you make 10 or 20 times, 50 times the money, but make at least twice as much money as you invested. And I guarantee that if you don't do that, I'll give you your entire investment back. All right. So yes, Nancy, this offer is available today. All right. So that's the guarantee. Let me just see. Somebody says, I've tried other programs. Will this really work for me? Listen, like I said, I've helped over 15,000 business owners, doctors, lawyers, engineers, shoe store owners, startups, successful companies, and it works if you work it. It's like I said, it's like a franchise that you follow step by step, and then you have all of the different pieces that you need in order to grow and scale your company and automate your company and generate leads and sales. So yeah, yes, we have multiple payment plans. So if you just click on the link, go to the page, you'll see everything that comes with the offer. And you're going to see at the bottom of the page, there are payment options. Okay. Barbara asked, John, I want to join for a year. Yeah, Barbara. So when you go and you invest in the 6 months, once you check out, there's an additional 6 months you can add for just $1,497, which is, I mean, it's crazy. So we're giving you a one-time offer right then. All right. Multiple people. I want to build my coaching consulting business. Will this program help me? Well, only if you want to learn, you know, how I've generated close to $100 million in my coaching and consulting business and the systems and processes I've used. Yeah, I think you can probably learn a little bit about, you know, how to position yourself as an expert, how to get people's attention, how to get leads, how to convert those leads into paying customers, how to sell more. Yeah, it'll help you. I think probably about 20% of our clients are coaches or consultants. The rest are other type of business owners. So that's that. How do the live coaching sessions work? Are they like this? Yes and no. So there's 3 different types of coaching / training. So on the days that we have, let's say, an expert, the expert will teach for about 60 to 75 minutes on a specific topic or two. Then we do Q&A with the expert. Then after that, I stay on and we do a general Q&A session. Everybody's on Zoom. You submit your questions and then I answer your questions. You open up your mic and we dialogue. And so you learn an enormous amount because you're hearing so many different questions and answers. So there's training, there's Q&A sessions, but then we also do hot seats. And the hot seats are where we take, you know, 3 or 4 different members and we go deeper into your business. We might look at your website. We might look at your emails. We might look at your sales process. We might look at your lead magnets. We'll look at your stuff and then give you deeper feedback. All right. So that's regarding the live coaching sessions. Maria asks, are there inner sizes inside Winning Game of Business? Yes, I created some very specific brain training audios around your self-image and self-worth and beliefs so that you believe that you are a highly successful multi-million-dollar business owner. So yes, yes, yes. All right. And then I see, Chris, you're saying, is the Facebook community also open to purchase for a lifetime? We have a private community, Chris, that you get access to during the duration of your coaching. All right. So it's not ongoing coaching for a lifetime. So if you guys 6 months or 12 months, you get access to the private members area where we post everything. All right. Jassy or JC Lamont, how do low income and high income people think the same? They don't. They don't. High income people think about high income producing activities. High income people think about their value in the marketplace. Low income people are usually governed by their self-image and self-worth, and they will never charge more than their self-worth will allow them to do. Bayin or Bayen, could this program work for a complete novice in business? Yeah. Yeah, if you're a complete novice in business. Here, think about it this way. Isn't every business owner that's not a novice somebody that was at one point a novice? And doesn't it make sense if you're a novice to learn how to do it right versus doing it over? Many of you just don't know what you're doing. And you've been doing it for many, many years. You're ignorant, meaning you don't know. It's not stupid. You're not stupid. You're ignorant. So let's do it right from the beginning, right? Let's do it right from the beginning, all right? Joy Schechter, if you have the program, you already have access to all of it. Well, maybe not the newest version, but you can add the coaching to get back into the coaching, Joy, so connect with my team, all right? So those are the questions that came in on my chat. I see a few more over here. So Shushovan, you want to start a video production house. Any suggestions? Yeah, I got a lot of suggestions, but I'm not doing consulting today. All right. So that's what you learn in the program, and that's what you learn by showing up on the calls, every single week that we're in there. Right. So let me just see. All right, let me just see in the chat over here. So Tertius from Sao Paulo, Brazil. You say you can start from scratch, but all I have is an idea and life experiences. Will it work for you? Well, when you say all you have is your life experience and like, what do you want to listen? Every business needs to have something to offer, right? So do you remember in my PowerPoint, I said the first modules are around what's your vision and then what are some of your goals? That's where we're going to start off. Okay. And so you have to start off with your vision and your goals, and then you're lost. Like, imagine this. Imagine you're getting on an airplane and the captain doesn't know where she's taking the plane. She's just going to say, I'm going to go up in the air and we'll see where we go. How many of you are staying on that plane? Or you get onto a cruise ship and they go, let's just go anywhere. You have to have a destination, right? Hi, Kay. You have to have a destination, right? And so we'll help you create the vision and the goals for what you want to do, right? All right, so let me just see this. Awesome, Chris. I look forward to meeting you. And Ali Gordon, please, can somebody contact me? Read my purchase ASAP. Well, I don't know if we can contact you like right this second, but my team can contact you. Ali, you seem like you're worried and scared. Listen, a lot of times when we're stepping out of our comfort zone, the fear center in our brain activates and goes, did I make the right decision? What if it's not everything it says it is? What if, right? And so, when you are looking at making a change, Ali, when you want the VIP leap and not sure what you've bought, my team will get a hold of you. So no worries, just calm down, take a deep breath. So sometimes fear holds us back. And the reason fear activates is because we're trying to protect ourselves because we don't want to get hurt. Remember I said that, safety and security is our number one priority and avoidance of pain or discomfort is number two. So when we're uncertain, we feel vulnerable. When we feel vulnerable, we're like, oh my God, right? Well, don't worry. We've got you. We know what your emotions are. We know how to help you, right? We know how to walk you step by step from where you are to the next step. We know how to help you manage your mindset and your focus. We know how to help you manage your emotions of fear, uncertainty, doubt, worry, because if we don't show you how to do that, you won't take action. We want you to take action so you achieve the results. All right. So whenever we have lack of knowledge and skill, we activate the doubt and fear and worry and stress centers in our brain. You may not know this, but when that center in your brain is activated, you lose motivation, you don't gain motivation. So by upgrading your knowledge and skills and your mindset, you're more aware, you're more certain, motivational circuit activates and you actually take action. So we will show you how to do all of that. Like I said, the training is not just on how to build your business, it's how to build a better you. And I'm going to help you build a better you by helping you train your brain around your self-image so that you feel confident, certain, and empowered. so that you know how to manage the emotion of fearing of failure or fearing of disappointing yourself or fearing of being embarrassed or disappointed. Those are emotions, and either your emotions are going to control you or you're going to learn how to control them, which is part of what I promise you you're going to learn. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are already in the program? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how has it been so far? I'm not sure how many. We didn't invite people that are in the program already. We invited people that, we wanted to train on some stuff. So Jacqueline, yes. Irshad, 10, right? So those of you that are in, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, 1 being 0. And we didn't invite our members, right? So 10, a 9, a 10, right? Is it everything that I said it is, right? Tony, then join the program. Rahman, awesome. Great, great, great. All right, so listen, I've got to run. Albert, you just started. You're in love. Awesome. So you're in Win a Game of Money. Here is your last chance to do this. All right. If you want to be one of the first 50 to get the bonuses on the Hill method of selling, each time we do this, we give 50 of those away. And there's a whole bunch of other bonuses that we're giving people. Thank you all. I appreciate you. God bless you. And let's start building your business predictably, sanely. Let's reduce your stress, increase your certainty so you achieve your goals faster and easier than ever before. You ready to do this? Let's do this together. You don't have to do this alone anymore. All right. Thank you to my team. We want to put on some parting music, Carolyn or Kay. We can do this. Brit in Madrid. Get the energy in motion.